Greetings. Welcome to the channel. This time I talk about crossovers. And I'm not limiting this video only to comic books, but there are books also. And the first book here is Marcel Allan's and Pierre Souvestre's Fantomas. He was a criminal feared by the underworld and the police. And he was so popular that they made this. This is a play where Sherlock Holmes and Fantomas fight. And now that we arrived to Sherlock Holmes, there are several books where Sherlock Holmes meets Dracula. And Sherlock Holmes battles with gentleman burglar, and we know that it's Arsène Lupin. Here we have Arsène Lupin comic book, and here we have Dr. Watson and Sherlock Holmes. His name is not mentioned in the cover, probably for copyright reasons, but here we have Arsène Lupin, and we have Sherlock Holmes here, and his name is on the cover. So Sherlock Holmes versus Arsène Lupin is a very popular subject in the popular culture. Now this book here, this is the King Solomon's Mines by Rider Haggard. So here's some interior illustrations of the book, and the hero of this book is Allan Quatermain. And here we see Allan Quatermain in the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, written by Alan Moore. This is one of the largest crossovers. We have this woman is from Dracula novel. Here we have Captain Nemo from Jules Verne. Here we have the Invisible Man, Jekyll and Hyde. So, and I believe even the Sherlock Holmes adversary, Dr. Moriarty, appears in this comic book series. So this is quite a crossover indeed. Then we go to pulps. This cover is drawn by Michael William Kaluta, by the way. Here we have the Shadow and the Avenger. Pulp heroes that meet in a comic book. This is not a company crossover, but this is the first time that these two characters meet in a comic book, and I believe this is their first meeting in any media. Grendel versus the Shadow. Art and story by Matt Wagner. Grendel versus Batman. Art and story by Matt Wagner. So this is a company crossover, Dark Horse Comics, who at the time had rights for Tarzan, and DC Comics, who owned the rights to Batman. Pulp heroes again. The Shadow and Doc Savage meet. And here we have the Shadow, the Avenger, and Doc Savage. But at the time, Dynamite had the rights for all three characters, so this is not considered a true company crossover. And here we have a meeting between Batman and Doc Savage. Batman 66 meets the British The Avengers. Mr. Steed and Mrs. Peel here are the Avengers. They have their own television series in United Kingdom. And this is a company crossover. Boom has the rights for the Avengers, and DC has the rights for Batman. They also made crossovers with Green Hornet, and I believe they made a crossover between Green Hornet and the Spirit. And DC made a crossover between Spirit and the Batman, but at the time DC owned the rights for both characters. Batman and Alien. So Dark Horse and DC, this is a true company crossover. And Batman versus Predator. Beautiful art by Lee Weeks. Story by Roger Stern, art by Steve Rude and Milgram. Beautiful art. And here we have the Finnish version of the same book with not so great color separations, but we also have a flip book, and on the flip side we have Superman and Fantastic Four, DC Marvel crossover. Crossover between Generation 13 and Fantastic Four, Marvel Comics and Wildstorm. And on the flip side, JLA meets Wildcats. Superman and Aliens. Superman versus Terminator. Batman and Punisher, DC Marvel. And this great crossover between Suske and Viske and another series, Jommeke. So here's Suske and Viske and here's Jommeke. And here we have the Batman versus the Incredible Hulk. The famous kick. And you might notice, beautiful back cover by the way, it says usually here collector's edition, but this is a newsstand edition. Batman and Spider-Man. Spider-Man and Gen 13. And here's the book that started the DC Marvel crossovers. Thank you for watching. Be seeing you.